And we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the DJ Life podcast.
Bow, 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 bow.
Triple air horn.
Bow.
Triple air horn.
We have Erik Massengale, dude with glasses. What was the new title? Owner of White Speakers.
Oh, yes, I am that. I have graduated to real DJ.
DJ Rick Webb as always. Tonight we have Chris Washburn. Woo.
Waka.
More
Waka,
air
flocka.
horn.
So, quick question before we start. Where did you get that shirt?
Ooh, about the left quadrant of my bedroom hanger.
Where did you purchase the shirt?
Just kidding, Eric. So this is a it's a company's called George V. It's French, I believe. And you know what? I don't know if my Instagram. So once you buy, obviously how the analytics work. Once you buy one flashy set of clothing on Instagram, your feed just piles up with these. It could have been that, or I could have saw it in a store. Anyhow, yeah, they make a lot of very flashy, bright type of clothes I enjoy.
You're forever wearing some like funny type of shirt, like not fun. I don't even know. It's just like it's different. You know,
You have a lot of epic outfits.
I always notice your shirts and pants and outfits in general.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah,
you should see my underwear too.
No, I have.
I don't know. We'll edit that one out.
Right,
no, just
right.
kidding. But you're right. I like fun, flashy, bright things that speak loudly.
Mm-hmm. Well, there it is.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, good to have you on here. Normally, we like to start off kind of just for the people that don't know, kind of like what was your background getting into the DJ realm? And then I also want to touch on the poker side of things too, when all that started up. But take us back to when you first got introduced to the art of DJing, MCing, and that. And
how'd you get into this shit?
how did that start?
This shit, exactly. How long do we have today? How long is this podcast?
An hour.
Hour flat.
An hour, great, cool.
Yeah.
Well, first, it's an honor to be here as a fellow member of the DJ community. That's someone that has been a fan of both of you, and we've been friends on social media, different conferences, and met up. I love what you guys are doing here, and you guys that have created this show, this entity that is aimed to bring the DJ community together, to talk stuff, to make it entertaining for the DJs involved, and probably the people that are outside as well. My hat's off to you, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be here, to be part of this. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I got my start in DJing. Okay, so out of college, I graduated in 2008, Ithaca College. I started working at a college bar nightclub. Well, first I moved to Vegas for a little bit, played poker. We'll get on that later. Came back, started working in a bar where I eventually was a bartender, manager. We had DJs. My whole life, my mom is a music teacher. I was birthed into music. I was always in band, orchestra, chorus, loved music. I was the person that would make the warm-up tapes for our high school basketball teams, playing the music at the college party, the house parties. So I had always had that kind of want and passion for music to entertain people. Then when I was at the bar, that's when we had the DJs. So I was in charge of hiring DJs, putting them on, and kind of one thing just led to another. I was fascinated by it. When the bar would close, then they'd be like, hey, you want to go mess around with our turntables and our controllers? I'm like, sure. And I had a good idea at that point of the music from the business point of view of like, all right, what does our crowd need? What is this DJ doing well? What are they not doing well? So I had a good idea of how the picture that we need to paint, what we need to do. When it came for me learning DJing, I just needed to learn the technical stuff, which again, I think that's probably easier for a lot of people to learn, because the other stuff, the performance stuff, knowing music, just can't really learn that overnight. But you can learn
like the crowd reading and stuff,
Right.
like
Yeah,
being able
exactly.
to judge
Just
what to play.
overall-
Yeah. But you can press
Yeah.
the sync button, damn.
You could.
Right. How old are
Things
you
might
at this
explode,
point,
though.
by the way? How old are you right now in this story?
Right now, I am 36 at the graduation of college. What are you, 22? 2008? Yeah,
Something like
22,
that.
23.
Yeah.
in that
22,
range.
23,
So
yeah.
I'm like early 20s, yes, getting into it. And that's when I learned how to actually DJ. And I think one thing at that bar kind of led to another where, okay, then I knew how to use the buttons. And then I was able to fill in for DJs and be there as like a backup and run trivia nights, etc. And then in around 2012 is when I did my first mobile event. Friends of mine, they were doing a very low budget wedding and like a fire hall, and they said, hey, we know you DJ, we don't really want to pay for a DJ, but do you want to come do this? And I'm like, oh sure, never done one before, did it. And after that I realized that, wow, I actually like this. I feel like there's a future here. And I knew that I couldn't stay in the college bar life forever. It's great in your 20s, your mid-20s, late 20s, but I knew at some point I had to branch out and do something else, because it just wasn't going to be a sustainable life. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe this DJ thing was fun. Maybe I should get into these mobile DJing events and do more weddings. And Then that's kind of just snowballed and led to another. And then I started doing more, created my company, Washburn Entertainment, which has been around for almost 10 years now. That's how I got into it, and eventually got out of the bar business, at least the manager side, around 2016. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's how I got into DJing. That was my start.
So you said park poker was like the first thing.
Mute that.
What?
I can hear it from here.
I'm sorry.
Technical difficulties.
Anyways.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But did I
It's
catch
that
you say?
Raiders hat.
Did I catch you say that poker was like the first thing before even DJing?
Yeah, poker. I learned how to push chips into the middle of a pot before I learned how to use the sync button. So
That's crazy.
If anyone that knows anything about poker, 2003, it's the Chris Moneymaker era. It's when ESPN finally gave a lot of attention on the World Series of Poker. It was the year Chris Moneymaker won, who was just an accountant out of Tennessee. That very relatable to everybody. This is what created the poker boom around that time. So early 2000s.
You're not Chris Moneymaker. Someone else. Is?
I make some money occasionally.
Okay.
My name is Chris, but I'm not the Chris Moneymaker.
You should steal
the Chris
that.
Moneymaker. Yeah, that's his real name actually. But that kicked everything off, and I was in high school at the time. So anyone that was around my age, that was around that age, that was like, oh, gambling, poker, this is fun. So me, along with like millions of other people, we started playing poker because we saw it on ESPN, and they blew it up, and it got really popular. And online poker was all legal at that point, and I started playing in high school and then through college. So yeah, that was part of my life. Something that came before the DJing did come. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
crazy.
I was kind of curious if you were. You said you were like early on. I was like the first thing that went to was it's not poker, but the Counting Cards movie where the professor gets the kids out of
21.
college.
21.
MIT.
Yeah. Takes them
Yeah.
over there. They fucking just cash out on casinos. It's a good movie.
That's a thing. If you can, if you're skilled, you can count cards. It definitely gives you an edge. And yeah, what happened with the MIT story? It's a fascinating one for sure. And not the same as poker because obviously blackjack you're playing against the house.
Yeah.
The great thing about poker, it's a game of skill. Yes, it's luck in the short term, but you could be one of the worst players in the world. But if you're sitting at a table with 8 players that are worse than you, you're going to win. So you don't necessarily have to be great at it. You just have to find people that are not as good as you, and
I
win.
fucking
You'll
suck
be
at
profitable.
poker. I suck at poker. I suck at blackjack. Anytime I go to Vegas and play blackjack, which is not often, I just make the dealer tell me what to do. Because they like don't. It's not really like they're bullshitting you. They're like, this is legitimately what you should do every time. And I'm like, perfect.
The dealers will help you. They want
Yeah,
you to win because
right.
if you win, then they win. Yeah, they're not. They don't get commission from the house. No.
Right.
And Eric, you can go on Amazon for $2 and buy like the blackjack how-to cards, like the size of a credit card. That you just pull out. And you can have it on the table. Every casino allows it, and it'll tell you like what to do. Like if you have a 16 against a dealer 3, do you split? Do you double down? Yeah. So there you go. I just solved all of your worries for you, Eric.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, I have been
Nice.
worried about it. Let me tell you, that's for sure.
Typically, my extent is I go to whatever the closest machine that looks cool, put $20 in, spin, and then I just keep going. And my goal really is if that thing doubles, or like not doubles, but like if it goes to like $200+ cash out, I'm leaving. Goodbye. Thank you. I got my money.
Well, that's not a bad strategy, Rick. And now that with all of your Titan tube, 360 tube sales, now you can be putting $100 bills in there instead of 20. So
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, I'd love to get into that story, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure the legality of me talking about getting a cease and desist letter.
You know, I heard that 90% of addicted gamblers like give up right before the big win.
Oh my! that's what degenerates say. That's what the gamblers say. How would you fucking know? Yeah.
So
That's like saying when roulette, when it's been black 5 times in a row, the next spin there's a better chance of it being black because it's been black 5 in a row. Yeah, that's good thinking. Reasoning.
And you still do that, yeah? I mean, I see it all over your Facebook, and you're like on TV with it or something, like.
Sure. Yeah, it's been a big part of my life in the past few years is poker. And mentioning the on TV part, right after COVID, I was fortunate enough to get on. There was a couple new poker stream TV shows out there, and I've been playing high stakes poker mostly on Hustler Casino Live, which is the world's #1 poker stream. It's on YouTube. It's free to watch, and I've been a regular reoccurring member over the last couple of years with that, playing some pretty high stakes, playing some pretty sick games, which has. allowed. It's been good for the brand. Do you want to get into the poker story now, since we're kind of talking
yeah.
about it?
We're
We're
on
here-
the
we're already
poker
here.
story. Yeah,
we'll get into
it's-
your business later.
Yeah, who cares? It's fine.
Yeah. Well, they tie in together, honestly. So, yeah, I've been playing the cash games on these poker shows that are very, very popular. They get anywhere. The biggest episode I played on was with Phil Ivey and Gary Adelstein and Eric Person, really big names, and that got almost 1 million views. That was a huge game I played on, not what I normally play with, but yes, I have been able to build this brand, build this notoriety, which has helped in my DJ career as well. A great example, actually, in about a month. I should mention the Hustler Casino it's in Los Angeles, so every time I go, I have to go out there and play there. And I live in Central New York, so it's not exactly convenient.
Ideal. Yeah.
But I have a wedding coming up in Laguna Beach, California next month, and it is booked through a guy who saw me on Hustler Casino Live. He saw me there. He loved my vibe. He loved everything there. He followed me on social media, saw that I DJ as well, and booked me for that. I've got a number of upcoming clients as well that are like, hey, we saw you on Hustler. Oh, you live close to us. We're in Albany, New York. Hey, can you come do this? So it definitely has helped just building that vibe, that aura, that status, that brand of the DJ Washburn Poker. And I use my DJ Washburn name as my poker stage name too. So they know that, oh, I'm a DJ as well. Also, I've been able to DJ some big poker events, and I've got another one coming up. Actually, the day after that wedding, I'm DJing a huge public meetup game at the Hustler, which is combining both the poker world, where it's a public event. Last time we did it, we had over 500 people come, which is the biggest meetup game in live poker history. I DJ'd it, hosted it as well. So being able to combine those two things is kind of special, something that I enjoy. So
Yeah.
Crazy.
Touching back on your fashion, at least from the videos I see on your social media, you're definitely one of the most flashy, crazy outfits person in the poker room when you're playing. Does that play into like the social aspect of like psyching people out or anything? Is that what you're trying to do, or just trying to be you?
No, it's more for just the vibe and the fun and the persona and the brand that I've created. Is just like you see the shirt that I'm wearing now. Yeah, I'm very intentional with most of the things I do in life, but especially with the fashion. And at these poker shows, so like when I'm on camera, it's a TV show, so I'm valuable because for people to be on that show, you either have to be a really big name celebrity. I'm not with that. You have to be a really famous poker player. I'm not that. You have to be a really hot looking female. That I'm certainly not that. Or you have to be a big influencer that is a TikTok star that has 20 million followers or something. I'm not that. So the way I have my place in that, and the way I've been able to develop and get my seat at the table, is by being a fun personality, dressing flashy, having that fun aura, talking a lot at the table, being very energetic. That's all plays into who I am, that persona, which then makes me an asset to the show, because people are like, oh, I like that guy, or he's funny, or hey, I love that fashion. There's the fashion, yeah, it does allow me to present in a way my creativity to back it up. Like if I'm wearing a very loud shirt, well, I'm going to be kind of loud at the table, not necessarily volume-wise, but I'll be very talkative. Because what people don't want when it comes to these poker shows are the serious people that just sit there and they take
Cover their
forever
chips,
to move. Yeah, and it looks like watching paint dry, and they sit there like this, and they want to cover their face, and there's no personality. No, that's boring. People don't want to watch that shit. So, yes, to get back to your question, the reason I choose my fashion, it all goes into that persona, that personality, that vibrance, and it fits my personality that I'm going to be loud, energetic, vibrant, and then the clothes kind of match that as well. So, yeah.
Cool.
So your DJ company,
Pivot.
Pivot. It's about 10 years in progress at this point. And I know a couple people that work, I guess, for you, with you, whatever it may be. So you guys are substantial for sure. How many DJs are we? Because you're multi-op, right? Multi-op.
Yeah, I would say small multi-op. Yep.
Small multi-op. How many DJs are we talking? At the moment,
So we are in Central New York, Ithaca, New York. That's the Finger Lakes region. Cornell University is there, just south of Syracuse. Small multi-op. Of course, when I first started, it was just me. Then I tried to expand because I was getting too many bookings that I couldn't handle myself. Made a lot of mistakes trying to bring people on. Learn from them. Right now, I've got a crew of about 10 to 12. They're not necessarily all DJs. I would say for our main lead DJs, we would have 4 that could do a wedding. So, like, obviously, if you're in the DJ world, being able to do a wedding by yourself as a lead is probably the most complicated, high-profile thing to do versus like a mitzvah or, well, actually mitzvah can be up there too, but like a small Sweet 16 party, something like that, a plug and play at a bar. Those are a little bit not as many talents are needed for that. So I've got about 4 leads. I've got another couple people that are aspiring to learn that are getting to that point, and then 3 to 6 part-timers, photo booth assistants. I've got a full-time videographer, photographer. You got the photo booth assistants. We have the part-timers that can come on and assist for weddings, but they're not exactly what I would say DJs. So I would say around 10 or 12 full people, with half of that being performing DJs.
So the photographer, videographer, is that like a service you sell, or is it strictly for you guys for content?
A little bit of both. He's rather new. I just brought him on as a full-time salaried position a couple months ago, and a lot of it right now is shooting promo for us. But he has done videography for the clients as well. And the plan is to, in the near future, to tack on a video and photography unit or business of the business, correct, and bring more people on for that. So that's the ideal for it. But right now, yes, we do offer videography for our weddings, photography for any event, and then if not, then he will certainly be able to capture content for us. Yeah, definitely.
You post a ton of content. Like I said, I see you everywhere. So
So are you behind all the content, or do you have other people helping you make all this, like cut it up and edit all the content? Because you do post a lot.
You be posting. What's up?
And content is key, as most of you know these days, especially in the DJ industry. So many people are going to go look at our Instagram, our YouTube, our TikToks before they even pick up the phone. Do people even pick up the phone? Open up their laptops or phone and send an email, right?
God, I hate it
so
when
it is
people
very
call
key.
us. I will just say, I know to put a wrench in that, but I fucking hate it when people call us. Anyways, sorry.
It's not. You're not the only person that feels that way. I would say I am the brain behind most of the content. I don't necessarily edit everything, but a lot of stuff I do edit, or I will be very in the process of, hey, we're going to make this reel. This is what I think the direction should be. Here we go. And then you have someone do it. The videographer does a lot of the editing for us. Eric, I think you said you know Tori, or I think you know Tori.
Yeah, we had dinner one time at some convention. I don't remember the convention, but
perfect.
I basically
ate
with Tori. So.
Yep, Tori V. She's like my right-hand person that has helped a ton. She's done a lot with the reels, so she will often make them. Like I'll say, hey, Tori, let's get a reel of that prom we just did, or hey, the 3 weddings we just did this weekend, cut it up. And now they're at the point where I don't really need to give a ton of direction because they pretty much understand what the vision I like, and they're pretty good at what they do. So her, Caleb. I guess it's a collective thing. That's when it first started off, it was me doing a lot of the editing, and now I've been able to delegate it to them a little bit. But I always usually have a say in, like, I'll look at it first. I'm like, hey, send it to me first. Make sure that I like this, and do that. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that you see in mine is me editing, and but I would like to get more of that to have, now that I have Caleb as the full-time videographer, photographer. He's going to be doing more of the intricate stuff, like some of the behind the scenes, the vlogs that take a lot more time to make. And it's not just a 30-second cap cut, or, some of these apps where you can just throw in 10 clips and it makes it for you automatically. Like, those are great, but yeah, some of the more intricate stuff, the storytelling aspects, that it'll be more of him doing.
Cool. So I see you, like, the events you post all the time. It's like you guys do a lot during the week, it seems like, with like the universities and stuff like that around. And then also you do weddings and other events. What's like the kind of the spread of like events? Like, is it mostly weddings, corporate, college, a little bit of mix of all the above?
Sure. Yeah, good question. We live in a college town, so there's Cornell University, there's Ithaca College, there's a number of SUNY schools in a very, very small radius, and of course all of your typical normal amount of high schools. So we do a decent amount of school events. Weddings are our main moneymaker, I would say, in terms of probably 65-70% wedding revenue. But we do, like I said, a lot of the school dances, a lot of school events, corporate things around here, and almost all of our DJs are also either started in the club area or continue to do college bars, casinos, more like your plug and play, where it's about the club mixing. So that's the great thing, and one of the expectations that I have with all my DJs is that they are going to have to be elite level mixing that can go to a club, a dance floor club that is a modern, and be able to spin and mix at that level.
Yeah.
So I like having that versatility where they can do that. So yeah, we do, and those are more like they do on their off night. So hey, I have an open Friday night. Hey, let's go do this college bar.
That definitely keeps you tight, though. You know, like with your mixing skills.
Oh, yeah.
I can
100%.
tell anytime I'm at a convention or whatever, and there's a DJ off or whatever, I immediately know. Oh, you only do events. I just know, and it's no offense to you, but I know. It's just different. Yeah, I know.
You could almost tell before that person even starts DJing just by looking at certain things. Like, what are they using for software? What's queued up here? What's the controller do they want to use? Like, what's their manner getting into? You know it, right? When you're in that you understand. Yes, you can tell when a mobile wedding DJ goes and tries to do a club performance set at some sort of mix-off, like you just said, Eric, 100%. And yeah, you're right. And I think that's that value of being able to mix in that club style and be able to bring that is very valuable these days, which everyone always talks about that on Facebook.
It's up in the air. Yeah, I mean, that's the opinion for sure. However, it is undoubted that working in clubs and bars or whatever the fuck you want to call it will keep your mixing skills tight. That's all.
100% true. And like,
and your library.
for me, because I started
and
in
your
there,
library, exactly. Yes,
the library. You're right, and you got to keep. Because even those 21-year-old college kids now, when you do their wedding in 10 years, it's good to have the experience. Like, oh yeah, Obama was good for them. Oh, Ice Spice. And if you're not in that now, 10 years from now, you're not going to be familiar. You're not going to know how that felt when you dropped Ice Spice in 2023 at graduation weekend or whatever the hot song is, a Lil Uzi Vert, right? So I think there is merit there for the sustainability for sure of being relatable and understanding in the same way that for someone that's 50 years old that grew up listening to Salt and Pepper in the clubs, I was born in 86, so I did not experience that. So I can't really relate the same way when I play it for them. Like, I know that was popular for them, but it's not like when I can say when I play for, I'm 36, when I play for another 36-year-old and can relate to, 50 Cent in the club. Yeah, middle school into high school. I remember what that was like. So obviously that's, it's getting into another whole art science of DJing, but that relatability and understanding, living through, I think is very, very key and next level stuff for the people that really, really connect with their audience.
So my first introduction to you was MEC in 2020, right before the whole world shut down.
What is MEC?
That conference in Vegas, the new Mobile Beat. They call it MEC.
I was there.
Mobile Entertainment Expo.
I was there. Yeah.
You were there. You were there.
That's right.
That was the first time I had been introduced to you, and you made a whole presentation. I think you've done it multiple times now on video and incorporating video into kind of your sets. And David commented a little bit on it, but as well in the comments in the live chat, but about like kind of the offering of TVs. And I didn't even remember this, but you also do like live feeds and stuff too on the video side of things. So
Rick, I've done that seminar a couple times. I did it at Marquee last year. I did it at MEX. It was incorporating live videos, and it's just an element that. And I would say I have spoken at a lot of the conferences and on different topics, and that conference or that topic about the incorporating live videos, I've got more messages, posts, and more conversations from other DJs asking about than any other one. So I know that it is super popular, and not a lot of people are doing it. And when I got into it, is that it's not just about, because most DJs, if they don't know anything, they think, videos. Oh, you mean music videos? Yes, that's part of it, but there's a way to add the custom videos that really connect on an emotional level, and that's what that seminar is all about, how to incorporate that. One of the things we do at a wedding is a live day of video, where I or myself or the assistant will go around, take clips of the day, we mix it during cocktail, we edit it really quickly, it's simple editing during cocktail hour, play it during dinner, play it the rest of the night, and they can kind of see like a 60-second recap of the day that's happened, and you can add different ways to connect with people. Like for a parent dance, say a bride's dancing with her father, there are things you can do like having a pre-recorded video that is her speaking to the camera, talking to her father, and a message that she wants everyone else to see. You drop that during the middle of that dance. Oh my God, talk about the emotional impact. And video, it just has the way we are built as humans. Video connects more than just audio or just speaking, and that's why it's just like watching a movie versus reading a book. So there's just ways that the audio, the video, the way you sense the sensors that we react, it's more of an emotional connection. So there are ways to incorporate those live videos, and there's getting in. If you that seminar is actually free to watch. It's on my YouTube, where I give lots of examples of different things you can do that may not be as emotional, but things like there was a DJ, actually DJ Toad. A good example. He was doing a party for the Kentucky Derby, and not only did he just play music, but he was able to put the race on his TV screens for the moment. And you could do. I did things at a wedding where a certain person couldn't be there, but I brought in. You got a pre-made video before from that person that couldn't be there because they were overseas. Boom, play that for the couple. Again, it's that talk about going above and beyond, and things that they did not expect. You can do another emotional connection. The good thing that one of the big things that was like the wow factor, you can get videos from celebrities like using Cameo, or if you know someone and drop that on. I did that for my own wedding. Actually, I got one from like Bret Hart. I got one that a lot of my groomsmen were wrestling fans, so I had one shout out to him. He shouted out to them. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do with videos that people just don't even know about, and a very, very small population of the DJs are doing it. So I think that's why when I finally showed it and I showed, hey, this is how you do it and what you can do, they're like, oh wow. And like I told you, I had more messages from other DJs, and I still have some of them saved. Some of the voicemails I got from random DJs in Texas that were like, hey, dude, I was so happy I just did this, blah, blah, blah. And they love this. And now I'm the only one in my market and just did my first $5,000 wedding. Because like all these good things that, again, make me feel very happy, gratified. And probably the same reason why you guys do this show is because you care about the DJ community. You like being part of it. You like helping people. I know I feel the same way. So many people have helped me in this community that I just feel it's my right to give back, and I genuinely enjoy it, and being able to help other people is very gratifying to me. So
yeah, and I imagine a lot of the people that message you and stuff after those seminars is just like me in 2020 when I watched your seminar. I'm sitting there like, yeah, I have 2 TVs, but like they literally sit and collect dust. Like they are rarely ever taken out. Yeah. And I still to this day actually find it a little hard on the sales side of like, how do you actually show that? Like, how do you market that like this is a service you provide other than like just having the videos? Is there any like tips or tricks around the marketing side of having the customized video and actually getting it out there to the point where people contact you wanting that service? Or
yeah, it is a challenge because first of all, most of the DJs don't know about it. So how are clients and non-DJs going to know about it? They don't. So it's important to be able to show them. Am I able to share my screen here just for a quick sec?
No, you just yeah, just give me 2 seconds and you'll have it.
Yeah,
right, you're good to go.
Being able to show them videos of it in person. If I do it at a wedding and people see it, then they like know and like, oh, we saw that at my cousin's wedding. We love that. Can you do that for us? That's obviously the easiest. But I'm not going to play these whole videos, but I can show you that I do have in this like wedding client meeting file that I do with Zooms with new people. I do have these different videos to show people, so I can be like, okay, well here's what I'm talking about when I say the day of, and I play this for the couple or the client or whatever. And there's some there's some longer ones on my website that will go over, and it's got volume, but I don't need to show the volume now. That'll show examples of like, okay, here's this personal, really cool video that. And this is a way to show them that because they've never seen it before, and show them the emotional impact that it has. Is the volume coming through right now?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So here's a good example of like they see the groom and his mom doing a dance, and he did this video saying how much he loved her and thanked her and everything. And then when that ends, there's not a dry eye in the room. So being able to show this rather than me just saying, hey, you want TVs at your wedding because I can do this cool video? No. You show this, you have the music going, you see the emotion from the people, And then that's a way that I try to market it. And then I can obviously show them like, hey, here's the different monograms you can make if you want to set your wedding apart, and different things we can do to that people have never seen before. Boom, here's a way you can do it. And they just show them excuse me, show them the examples. Now, if you're starting out though and you're like, well, I don't have any examples, what do I do? Well,
you lie.
That's yeah, you could, or just offer for free.
You steal Chris's videos, right?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, it's I would say, hey, yeah, you want to use this picture, this video of what it's gonna look like? Go ahead. Like, yeah, I don't really have a problem with that as long as they don't start taking say it's their own. No, but you could offer for free and say, hey, I'm offering this new thing. Is it okay if I do this at your wedding and see how it goes? No charge, and then you at least get the content for it, and then you can show more of it. And I do think that a lot of DJs they're too transactional when it's better to sacrifice, like offer free uploading for a venue that you don't have the uploading yet at, and pay someone to be if you're not good at taking content, pay a photographer to come in and to get that, because that extra uploading you gave might pay itself. You're going to be able to book it maybe 10 times more because now you have that content to share.
Right.
Yeah, like Eric in his all white setup that's about to get a whole photo shoot done and video.
I'm trying to make some sales, motherfucker. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very similar to when you start DJing and you DJ your homie's wedding for $200 or whatever. Like you have to get the evidence, to sell yourself for 2,000. You have to sell yourself for 200 first. A lot of people don't get that. Sometimes I talk to like newbie DJs kind of thing, asking me for advice. And they're like, well, I got all this information from a DJ group in a DJ idea sharing, and I'm supposed to be charging blah blah blah, but I only have 7 leads and they don't respond. I'm like, well, I hate to break it to you, but you're just not there yet. Like you gotta, I don't know. What do you?
If you have no market, like in terms of market, if you have no market in terms of presence.
Well, you haven't created your own.
You haven't created presence. No vendors know about you. No venues know about you. Then your only real in is to be the cheaper guy and to get a few jobs and then have the content to build yourself up.
Right. You got to win somehow, and until you can create the demand, you don't win without the price battle.
You're spot on with that, and I'm sure that the DJs watching here, I'm sure that video thing is still very popular, and people are like, oh wow, yes. I will say with that, a lot of my mindset behind that was not, oh, this is going to make me more money. A lot of times, like with a photo booth, like I hate photo booths, but we have them.
God,
They make right. We can go on about that. Ugh, headaches out the
Danny
booth,
Max fixed a lot of my problems with photo booths. I will say that. However,
we love Danny.
I do love Danny. I love all of his products that I at least own. However, I still fucking hate photo booths.
Yeah, right. Most DJs feel that way, but they certainly lead to more events. They certainly bring more money in. So yeah. But unlike that, with a photo booth, like the mindset we would go with that, I'd say with the videos, I didn't get into it to be like, oh, well, now I can make an extra $300 or $500. The money for it really is not. I've probably given it away more than. Have I given it away? It's not really significant to me. What it is, though, it's that icing on the cake. It's that extra wow factor that is. If put that on top of our performance, you add that on, and then you've created a whole unforgettable entity product that people have never even seen before. I mean, if you are performing at a very high level, then normally you're going to be the best DJ they've ever seen in almost any market. But then you add that emotional touch on, that look. It's the first impression. They walk in, they see your setup, they go, oh, wow, this is neat.
This is different.
And then they hear you perform, and then you drop them in, you hit them with that emotional connection with those videos. It's like the icing on the cake, and that's what then really, really separates you from just a really good DJ that knew how to mix music and make a dance floor lit. So a lot of that is certainly things that will be good for developing better relationships with the vendors, with the venues, the people that are going to refer you, the other pros, because they're going to be like, oh, well, this DJ, they're the only ones that do this really cool thing with the videos. And you can actually, if you have the videos too, you can partner up with photographers. There's certain ones that they know it's going to happen, and I'm like, hey, okay, when you get that picture from before the ceremony, we're going to surprise the couple and throw that up on the screen when they come in. And again, that's just a next level thing that they blow their mind, like, wow. And that's a team effort. And then both you and the photographer
get a little
amazing.
brownie points. Yeah, exactly.
100%. And and that we're not doing that. I'm not going to go, hey, by the way, because I threw that picture up, can you throw me an extra $50? No, it's obviously.
I wish you would. That would be awesome.
That would be.
You just invoice them like crazy itemization with that invoice at the end.
Yeah,
like, and here's all the custom work.
Bad Bunny
That would be
request,
you.
$300.
That would be. That would be me.
That's Eric's company when they get into video work. Yeah, so that picture we took, that's $500. That video, that's another $20.
Yeah, their contract would be like estimated total, and like there'd be like a caveat right under that. It's like all custom work will be defined during the event. just fucking hit them with a scroll.
Just put like a big long lawyer caption at the bottom that says, "This is the current invoice, but we do extra custom work during the event. It could range anywhere from $1,000 to $20,000 in work."
Right. $1,000 to $20,000.
We require a credit card on file to immediately charge for these items.
Right, and it's like what's included in the package, and it's just me giving like the hush sign. It's a secret.
How much per Bad Bunny request? How much is that going to be?
I've
much.
never played a Bad Bunny song because I was out before that thing hit. So I couldn't tell you anything about Bad Bunny.
If you're doing any school events, it's yeah.
I've heard it, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Well, it's weird because it's really sleepy to me. It's like not hyped. It's like tired music, so I don't really understand why it's so popular for dance time. But I've been out of the scene, so,
When you say out of the scene, Eric, are you retired? Are you not DJing or what?
No, he's not a DJ.
Yeah, I quit DJing in like steadily in 2019.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I do DJ very just far and few between,
Like less than 10.
Oh, yeah. I do maybe
Way
2
less.
a year, maybe.
Do you have DJ? Do you have a company, or are you just out of the? We DJ a lot. I have a multi-op. You meant to? Okay.
They
I'm just behind on that. I didn't realize
they
that you
DJ
were
anywhere
personally
from 5 to like 17 weddings a weekend.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He's got a bunch of
So you're-
W9 guys.
What?
Love it.
Your company. It's a bunch of W9.
Oh,
employees,
yeah.
subcontracted
We
out.
started as W-2 stuff, and then COVID hit, and we kind of had to switch gears in order to basically uphold the contracts because DJs quit all of a sudden because shit got fucked up. And we had all these contracts to fill and whatnot. So I had to kind of switch up how the company was operating. Now we only have 2 actual employees. One is myself, and then the rest are all subcontracted. We actually are up close to you as of like last April also.
What's your market? Where do you live?
I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. We cover.
So you both do? You're close, right?
Yeah. He lives right up the street. I live right down the street from here. But we're like North South Carolina, some of Virginia, down here, and then we also do like New Jersey, like Philadelphia, and Southern New York, and like Staten Island, and then also Rochester. And we're kind of
Rochester.
Yeah.
How many DJs do you have in Rochester?
5 right now, and then trying to kind of expand from that, but that one's kind of a work in progress.
Yeah. What's your company called?
Dow Oak Events.
What is it?
Dow Oak Events.
Diowl Oak?
D-O-W.
Dow Oaks.
Yeah, Dow Oak.
Dow
No
Dow
S.
Oak, sorry.
I hate it. My name in Rick's phone is Erik Dow Oaks.
Spelled
and
wrong.
my name is spelled wrong.
It's spelled
like it's not the company name. It's not my name. I don't know. What the
So
fuck.
I got a rule. Whenever someone like gives me their number, right, I write down their name and then put in parentheses whatever it is that's going to help me remember who they are at that time, and I never fucking change it. Just period. Like it's set in stone. Like
That's
I
okay.
have like people from college that like it's like Kale in parentheses OU drunk.
Yeah. This my buddy Wes.
And he's like one of my best friends, so it's funny as shit.
My buddy Wes is Wes Gilbert
Wes.
roommate. even though I've been living with my wife, you know.
But anyways, it's Dow Oak without an S, but like everyone, including me and the vendors here, always call it Dow Oaks because it's just natural.
I hate it.
And he hates it.
Right. And then the Rochester branch is called Upstate DJ Company.
Separate.
But that's the brand new entity, and we're just trying a new brand just to see how it plays out differently instead of just pasting, you know.
Copy paste.
Sure.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is near our. I mean, we do a decent amount in Rochester, and Tori lives in Buffalo, so that's kind of close. She covers a lot of our Western New York
We're
stuff.
also much simpler setups and whatnot. We're total different service.
So
even though we're both DJing weddings, totally different service.
So the reason why me and Eric get along is because like you'll find a basic facade, 2 speakers, and a light bar with him, and then like I bring the furniture, column arrays, the nice stuff.
360 tubes,
yeah,
360.
yeah. Well,
formerly known as Titan tubes.
You know, when you're subcontracting across the country, you gotta
strip it down.
It's not even, you know, like they're it's not like they're gonna like ruin a wedding, but the gear criteria has to be low enough to where you can check those boxes easier. You know, like we don't offer any add-ons. You literally cannot buy add-ons, you know, for that reason. And yes,
Until lately.
one or two homeboys might have uplights, but it doesn't matter. We can't sell them because let's say one homeboy breaks his leg or whatever, you know, the night before or the day of even, and we have to sub in a new person. Well, the new person might not have uplights, therefore we can
Got to be uniform,
right?
Yeah, I hear
right.
you.
So that's the deal with that, you know. And New Jersey's different, but that's at least the deal with Rochester because that's the furthest.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Makes sense.
So I don't know. I just followed this thought and I'm bringing it back. But like what you said about kind of like you throw in those extra things with the video and stuff like that for the clients, just, you know, the icing on the cake. Jan and I made a few videos on like how he's started over the last few years now doing stuff like that. Basically whatever they have already on site to try and do some wow factor for them. So a lot of times he's with like electric violins, saxophones, and they're doing Dancing on the Clouds. So you might have seen the videos of him doing the dinner show almost. So like the violinist goes out there on the Dancing on the Clouds, spotlights, dim the lights, and it's like a dinner show basically of the thing. But like all the parts are there to do it. And it's just that icing on the cake, the extra factor to connect with the clients and really just provide a show-stopping entertainment.
And he's obviously one of the best in our industry and most innovative of doing stuff like that. And I've certainly always been a fan of his and Spinelli and his whole team. And you're spot on. I've seen some of his content there. I like it a lot. And I think I've always thought that I had a similar mindset to him and always been inspired by what the SCE event group has been doing and continues to do. Because you're right, it's so many people are just X amount for 2 speakers and they get 2 lights and they get this and they lose that opportunity to provide that wow factor, stuff that you have there and things that you can do that go above and beyond that are not on the balance sheet, that are not on the invoice list, but is going to have a huge impact. And that's, again, sustainability for the future it's huge for that.
So when you're doing those like extra things like getting cameos and stuff like that, do you already kind of like have TVs on the invoice already? It's not like you're throwing in TVs as well. Like you're using TVs for something else, correct. And then you're just adding.
That's right. Yeah, we want to surprise someone like when they're expecting a small setup or a rustic wooden facade, and then we come up with giant TVs and video booth. And like, no.
Just bring in the video wall.
We would. Yeah, exactly. Surprise. No, that's something we talked about before. Usually, when we first book, they know we'll show them like, hey, just so you know, we have a bunch of different DJ setups. Here's a few different examples. Rustic facade. Here's our clean max booth setup. Here's a bond booth. Oh, by the way, one thing we do with videos, and then through the playing sessions, they kind of know it's there. And if they said, hey, yeah, we want the TVs early on, or no, they would know that they were coming. And most of the stuff that we do now, we show them for that. So it would just be like things that an extra video that we would show, surprise them maybe, an extra, different things like that. Yep.
Cool. So getting back on like your speaking stuff, which ties into video, but what other topics have you been doing like seminar speeches on and stuff? Because I've only ever seen your video one. I haven't really been out of tune of what other stuff you're speaking on now.
Sure. It started a few years ago, and the first couple I did were just overall like how to get people to book you based on your availability for a wedding. And it covered too many topics. It didn't go super deep in any. It talked a little bit about emceeing, a little bit about planning, a little bit about marketing. And I realized I was still learning a lot about how to speak, and you can't do that. You can't go to too many different topics. And then I started to narrow it down a little bit. The videos was the good one because no one had really ever, not a lot of people knew about that. I did a really good one this past February at Mobile Entertainment Expo in Vegas on emceeing, and this was probably the best one I've ever done because most of the ones I do are performance based. So I'm not going to be the one that's going to get up there like Ben from NFLX and talk about here's the sound, the physics of sound in this microphone. Like I'm not a gear. I love Ben, but that's just not me. I'm going to be talking more about the performance side of things. And the MC one I did this past February, which I'm actually doing a similar one in November at the Wedding MBA in Vegas this year, was the best received one. I got very vulnerable. I started with a story that I told the story, and also I've learned a lot about emceeing and also how to present from people like Bill Herman. I've done Mark Becca. Learned a lot about how to be a good presenter and how to. A big thing is how to incorporate stories into your seminars. And I started with a story of the biggest mess up that I've ever had at a wedding, where it was a lesbian wedding, and during their introduction I called them husband and wife, and I had messed up announcing their
I got a fun
grandmother. Yes, so it was a very, very tough moment for me, and every time I watch it, it bothers me a lot. So I opened with that, I led with that, and then the great thing, I tell the story. And then I said, oh, by the way, and the DJ allowed me to share this video of it. And I had video, and I play the video, and it's me. So that's like the big reveal that I'm the one that messed up. And that really, that was a very powerful one because I got so vulnerable and open with it. And then I got into, some of the stuff about emceeing, the mindset stuff. I've done a lot of work, I spent a lot of money, invested a lot of time into really hoping to master that craft of being a really good entertainer MC through Marbecca's, through Bill Herman's, through other resources, Mike Walters, you name it, everyone I've always tried to take things from. So to be able to give that back and add my own sort of modern twist to it, be able to implement that and integrate it, because I am a club DJ also that could go to a Las Vegas nightclub and throw down an hour club set, but also then be able to be a broadcast level MC, or attempt to be, right? To combine those things, because a lot of times you get one or the other, and it's tough to see that hybrid, and that's something that I've really tried to train my team to be, and what I've tried to be. So I was able to give that new, fresh, younger perspective of a club DJ with that formality MC training that would be like a Marbecca or someone that is.
Have they taken any of those? Marbecca? What is that?
They like my team? Has my team?
Yeah. Oh, I know who Bill Herman is. Is that Mark Farrell?
It is. Mark Farrell, and his wife is Rebecca, so they combine their names, Marbecca. And he's been an industry standard top for MC training over the past couple decades.
Yeah, well, I'm super aware of Mark Farrell. I just didn't know the word that you've been saying.
That's exactly what it is.
I was confused. Anyways.
So that's the name of their course is Marbecca?
Yes, exactly.
They combined their names.
Yeah.
They did.
Right.
Combined.
They took their names and combined them. Anyways,
I was a little thrown off by that as well. I was like, Mark Farrell?
Yeah, I just didn't know what you were saying. Yeah.
Marbecca. Hey, if you're watching this, leave a comment if you're on Team Marbecca, or you know Marbecca. It's like a really good family too. It's because it's all about being. Say Bill Herman is more on the technical side of stuff, more storytelling, more prepping, more staging. Marbecca is really about emotions and being able to connect with people on an emotional level and how to bring that out. So the combination of the two are super, super fantastic. And that's I enjoy speaking on that and presenting on that, because there's not a lot of content out there for DJs to go learn MC stuff. And there's a million different DJ things on how to learn how to do the baby scratch and how to use every controller. But to get out there and captivate a room and have people really care about what you're saying, providing value with everything you say, every meaning, connecting with people emotional, that's not an easy thing to do, and there's not a lot of resources to find that. So I really enjoy being able to present that type of thing.
Well, the reason why there isn't any content is because DJs don't think that's cool. Not putting it that way, but that's literally anybody that's aspiring to be a DJ thinks EDM festival, club, bar.
Well, it's similar to fucking. I'm like selling automation for your CRM. It's like, here's something that'll make you a ton of money, but it's nerdy. And they're like, I'm gonna go buy a speaker. Like, it's just,
And that's
it's the same shit.
See, and I've been talking. There's like that's what I run into with all my content over the last like 3 years. I pivoted and made some videos around like CRM, salesing, Vibo, all these little tools, and they do fucking terrible. They do terrible for video standpoint. And it's funny, I talked to Joe Bunn about his YouTube channel, and I was looking at a lot of his content, and it was all like the DJ's Vault sort of content, like really educational based. And I literally told him, I'm like, that shit doesn't get views. I'm like, if you want to get views, because that's all he was trying to get was more views and subscribers and stuff, I'm like, just post gear. And look at the current Joe Bunn. All he does is post gear reviews.
Yeah,
it's funny.
And a lot of it's just the nature of DJs and the egos involved.
The egos.
No, there's no egos.
It's crazy, right?
No
and
egos.
I think, definitely no egos.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But,
Does your team,
to wrap up your question?
Does your team
to wrap up
do those things though?
Have you sent your
Some
team
of them
to those?
have, yes. So like I've put Tori in, Marbecca class, Bill Herman. A couple of my other DJs have done a little bit. I'd like them to do more. So yes, I would want them to do it, and I also do a little training myself. Like we just did a big studio training here a couple days ago, working with our assistants and pretty standard stuff. I think for any multi-op, but something that's been that I've slacked with a little bit, and that I like to do more of training. And you can't really tell, but I just got a new studio a few months ago, so I'm sitting in that is going to allow us to do that and do a little bit more. And then just to wrap up your question, Rick, about what other topics, this month in 2 weeks at Marquee, Tori and I are doing a joint seminar again, and we are doing it on optimizing assistants and capturing content. So like this is designed perfectly for if you're a single op and you want to find an assistant, you've had trouble with assistants. A lot of times it's not the assistant's fault, it's your fault for not being able to train them properly to do what you want. So it's going to be about optimizing, getting your assistant to do exactly what you want, make your life easier, and of course optimize your productivity, your performance, etc. And then really teach them how to get content. We talked about content already, and we talked about the content that I produce. I would say that most of the DJs out there are producing really subpar content, and it's just very blah. It's uninspiring. They just don't know what to do. So we're going to dive deep into that and explain and break it down an easy way to do it where you don't have to hire a videographer, but here's your assistant that's not a professional videographer. Here's the frame they should do. Here's the movement. Here's why you should not just get the course of the Cupid Shuffle, but in this situation, when you're about to transition, have them zoom in on your hands, have them zoom in on you, get the action, get the reaction. Why did that wordplay go over? And why would you be behind the DJ so you can see them rather than the DJ holding it? Like all these things that are very simple, but they've never really been taught or explained too much that we're going to share. So capturing content for sure, and how to train your assistant to do that to make you look like a rock star, and to be able to show what you're doing as a DJ, right? Because I think if you show a big crowd doing the Cupid Shuffle chorus, that says nothing about the DJ. That could be from an iPod, that could be from a bad DJ, it could be from Spotify, it doesn't matter. But you showcase what the DJ is doing, and you find a way to market that and show that, and then it's going to obviously make you look better. So that's one thing we're talking about. Yeah.
Do you have any intentions of filming that and selling that? Because God, I could use that literally tomorrow to literally give to all of our assistants.
Yes and no. We're going to film it. Yes. Am I going to sell it? Probably not. I usually like to give my content out for free.
Even better.
Well, keep me on the plug to that, because we literally
what he meant is, can I have it? So
we just as a team made we made like an assistant shot list, and like the first iteration was like okay, and then I was like, it needs a little more details to like what the film, and then the second iteration they came back to me with was like, God, dude, no one's gonna fucking read this. This is like a fucking essay booklet of like how to do it. So yeah, that'd be really cool stuff.
Yeah, and that's great. And we do things pretty well, but there's so much more to learn, and I would love to see from other people and see what they're saying. You're right, having that shot list, and to do it in a way that can do it, that your friend or someone that's not a trained videographer, photographer can understand it and do it and implement it, because it's not that hard of stuff. But yes, I'm looking at right here on my desk. There's capturing content tips, and you're right, the shot list, and what the mindset should be when you are filming stuff for the DJ. So yeah, that's stuff that I think will be very helpful, because we all see it. The content out there that DJs put out there is a lot of it's very, very bad and very uninspiring. And part of me that made me inspired to want to do this topic over the last few months. I've gotten a lot of messages from DJs that have reached out to me asking about like the content we do and how do you do this and what's this, and then asking me to critique things and different. And I've helped out a lot of other ones with, well, basic stuff. And so that was telling me without me asking that, oh, this is something that needs to be out there more because so many people are asking about it and or failing in their own type of way. Yeah.
Yep. And content's definitely something that you either need to be doing it or you will no longer be a company in a few years.
That is true. And
unless you have an automate your DJ service.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't you love it when you see the DJ posts where it's the caption, had a great time celebrating Ryan and Julie today. Thanks for having us be part of your day. Smiley face emoji. And then it's a picture of the cake, and that's a picture of the ceremony set up, and then it's a picture of maybe of a selfie of them in the parking lot. Like I'm just like, oh God, come on. And then I'm like, can we get over that, please? Right?
Yeah. I mean, I will say like all we post is literally just random pictures, and that is literally
no one looks at your content.
You're right. That is my point.
So why do you even bother?
You're right. Well, we have to look alive. We have to just people have to know when they're contacting us. It does. That's it.
It works.
We
It works
there's
for now.
evidence we're working and we're posting, so we're clearly active. It's not like they're contacting a dead company.
And until it stops working, Eric will keep doing it.
Well, and this whole white setup is a move forward because I'm going to see if people give a fuck. Our leads give a fuck. I know some people do. And content is a thought. Also, I'm not disagreeing with anything.
I got you.
But just know I don't fucking do it, and I fucking,
I know. So we got a few more minutes. I have one question I just wanted to ask because I think it'd be a good story. But what is the funniest or craziest moment you've had in poker? I feel like there's some crazy shit that happens in the poker table.
Crazy. Well,
crazy or funny. I just want to hear some good stories.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably the most significant thing that's ever happened to me was the biggest pot I played in that Phil Ivey game last September. I lost a really big pot and on a bluff that should have worked, but it didn't. So for me, that was most significant. It was a $137,000 pot, and these are cash games, so this is real money. And the hands all over my social media. You can watch it. And I tried to pull a bluff, and this guy, a lesson: you don't bluff rich people because they don't give a shit. And they calmed me down. And I got kind of an unlucky car on the river, lost that. That's the most crazy thing to me, I would say. That's the most significant hand I've played. Any other crazy things?
Any shit talking battles that you've got into or anything crazy?
Stabbing tires, fighting people, nothing like that.
Nothing really in that regard, but yes, definitely I've had a lot of. One of the games, the shows I play on, it's called Max Payne Monday, and it's actually made. You're supposed to talk shit. You're supposed to be more engaging. It's more entertaining. So there's a lot of shit talking. Slow rolling. I don't know if you know what slow rolling is, but it's when you pretend that you have a losing hand. Like if I call your bet, you'd be like, "Oh, you have kings." And I'm like, "Oh, nice hand. I feel like you're winning." And then I turn over at the last second. Oh, just kidding. I have you. That's like a big no-no in poker. That definitely gets people heated and. There's been a lot of times where I've been at a poker table and people just get crazy and they stand up and you want to fight. Not necessarily me, but like other people that jog, they go back and forth. That's very common. And then, that's tempers flare. People talk a lot of shit and usually it goes nowhere. But
I figured you from saying that you're like normally one of the most talkative at the table, sometimes eggs on some people and causes a little drama.
Yes. But I do it in a very positive way. I try to do it in a very fun, positive way, not an aggressive, mean, insulting way. And I think that's just who I am. That's my natural personality. But I'm very careful because there are certainly poker players that are like the bad boys of poker and the ones that are the assholes, and they own it and they know it, and that's who they are. And I just can't be like that. And I'm more of like kind of a joking if I'm being mean. But it's more mostly positive energy type of stuff for me.
Awesome. Well, we're at the top of the hour. If anybody wants to connect with you, Chris, where can they go? Where can they find you? Where do they need to go?
Probably my OnlyFans. Buy the platinum package, please.
Okay, sounds
I prefer that. I get the most content. Then I can retire from DJing if I get enough subscribers. No, that's not true. My OnlyFans didn't work. So, anyhow, usually post DJ Washburn _ Instagram, DJ Washburn _ TikTok. I have a DJ Washburn Poker on TikTok as well. DJ Washburn. And if anyone on Instagram could ever get me the DJ Washburn without the stupid underscore at the end, I will give you a lot of money. It's this little kid out in Iowa, had one post in like 2016.
Where's he
tried
live?
many times to get that one back. Played detective, messaged all his friends, and like, hey, I'll give you money if you can tell him to just deactivate his account, change his name so I can have it. And it hasn't happened yet. So,
to be fair, I got contacted one time. I had an Instagram for my cat, right? And it was Beans Party. And that's some company, right? Whatever that company. And they contacted me. They were like, can we have the name? We'll pay you for it. And I was like, how much? And it's like, I don't post on that Instagram. It was like a stupid little thing. And they offered me, I think it was $100. And I was like, 2,000. And they were like, hell no. And I was like, fuck you. And I just never gave it to him.
Oh, Eric, what a mean guy.
I know. I was literally like, I couldn't care less about having this, but just because you won't pay it, like, that's so funny to think about.
You're over there like,
Eric,
how much?
You're not afraid to speak your mind. I know you're opinionated. I've seen some of the conversations you've got in on Facebook posts and comments.
It's all
so that doesn't
fun.
surprise me.
You're just like, how much does it matter that you have a uniform @name on all platforms?
Right.
Question mark.
Right. Must not be that important to you then.
Good question. Yeah.
Would you pay that kid $2,000? Specifically, I want to know about the price tag of $2,000 to scrap the underscore.
Ooh, that'd be tough.
I would say a grand.
Probably, but I really don't want him to hear that. No, at the
But
time,
you get my
a few years
point.
ago when I got,
If it's a yes or a no,
Yeah.
and that is it. That's the price tag on the yes or no.
Probably, and that's. I want to be happy about. I was thinking I would go up to 1,000. I think when I messaged the friends, I'm like, hey, $200 easy, boom, $300, something in that range. That was no brainer. I'm like, I'd probably go up to 1,000. I don't want them to know that.
Right? Yeah, you got to work
I
your
do
way
really
up
want-
there.
Instagram should set a standard, like it's $10 per follower they have on their account. That's going to be the set price.
That's a lot.
But they had none. They had none though. Well, you're not even getting their account though. They just need to change their name, so then I could change my name and drop the underscore. So it has nothing to do with their account.
Yeah.
He had one post and no, like it's a dead account. No one's posting on it. No one's doing anything.
That sucks.
So
That sucks.
dumb. Yeah.
So Chris Washburn _ That's where you need to find him if you want to go check him out.
DJ Washburn.
Or DJ Washburn, sorry. Yeah, you don't use Chris on that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much for being on here. For all you guys listening right now on Variety of Sources, you guys can check it out on YouTube too to see the video side of things. See all Chris's awesome shirt he's wearing tonight. And if you guys are watching this and you want to listen to it in the car, it's available on all different sources out there, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Just search the DJ Life podcast and you will find it and be able to listen to all the different episodes, which I believe we're up to like 50 something now.
Look at us.
We're either at like 50 or we're like at 44. I can't remember at this point.
Something about that.
But there's a lot of episodes, so you guys can go listen, learn a lot of stuff. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next week with Jeff Scott Gold.
Ooh, good guy.
JSG is going to be on the podcast next week. That podcast is going to have a lot of energy, so bring some seatbelts.
Right.
Yeah. He's going to be bouncing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.